Hello everyone, my name is KelSounds, and today I want to show you guys the new shaper effect that came out for Faceplant. This was pretty exciting news for me. I was pretty hyped to see that they added a new distortion inside of Faceplant. I knew they were adding a new one, I just didn't know when it was being released, because I seen it on their Instagram story a while ago. But yeah, I have some examples here that I want to use it on, and I'm also going to be releasing this project file on my blog post on my website. The link's going to be in the description, so if you want to go ahead and grab that, you can. And you can have like the presets in here as well, and I might even add a little something extra just for you guys. But yeah, let's get into it. So before I add this new shaper effect on the sounds that I have here, I want to go ahead and just take a look at it. So yeah, pretty much takes your audio and remaps it to a new value based on the custom shape that you have here. And the x-axis represents the incoming audio, and the y-axis is the new remapped value. So yeah, the main difference between the shaper and the distortion is the shaper allows you to have more control, and the distortion, I mean, it lets you distort the audio but in a less controlled manner. And this pretty much alters the waveform of your incoming audio. And the distortion effect adds additional harmonics to the partials of a sound by like saturating it or overloading a signal. It also keeps the fundamental frequency, which is pretty nice. And the shaper can completely just alter the waveform of your sound and can add like odd harmonics. So yeah, the shaper is really handy to have, and so is the distortion. They're both really great snap-ins. But for the purpose of this video, of course, we're just going to take a look at the shaper and see what kind of sounds we can make with this thing. So you have your drive, you have the DC filter in the mix. The drive is just input signal being boosted. DC filter fixes any DC offset, and of course the mix just mixes in the effect. They also have this symmetry mode here inside of shaper. Freeform is just, you can freeform the shape like however you'd like. You can take however many points as you want and really make any kind of shape that you want. Mirror just reflects the curve on this y-axis here, and then symmetry kind of does the same thing except on a different axis. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, and these are fun to mess with to help you with shaping the curve here. It's just pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to freeform. And then we have this overflow option here. It's just what happens to the signal after it exceeds the edges here. So we have hold, which just maintains the values of the curve here after it exceeds the edges. Then we have mirror, where the signal reflects back into itself in the opposite direction. And then we have repeat, which just repeats the curve here inside the shaper. Then we also have some presets here, which I'll probably be using. They have some complex shaper curves, and then they have simple ones. I really like the fold back one. Okay, so the first sound that I have here is a synth lead. Nothing too crazy here, just a couple of detune analog generators, and they're doing there's some movement on the shift here to kind of give it a little bit of variation. I got a non-linear filter, multi-pass with a chorus on it for the highs, and of course the new shaper Snapin. So yeah, let's just mess around and see what we can get with this. Go ahead and just add a point here. And this isn't a smooth edge or a smooth point, so it's going to sound a little bit more aggressive. And as we increase the drive, I really like the way that sounds. Okay, alright, so it's at E2. Here we go. Let's do this kind of shape. I have a limiter on it. I'm going to lower this though, because it might get a little loud. Let's try some of these, the shapes that they have here. The needle looks pretty interesting, but that sounds like it's going to be loud, so I'm just going to watch the gain here and probably keep the input down. So as you can see, it really crushes the sound. Ooh, what's ragged? Let's bring it up an octave. Seismic. Nuss. Alright, let's try the simple shapes. Fold back, like I said, was one of my favorites. Let's bring it after the multi-pass. I'm going to adjust the decay. So yeah, add some nice harmonics here. And it completely changes our sound. Alright, so that's Shaper on the synth lead. Okay, now I want to try it on this bass loop here. And I kind of have the same setup. A gain, the shaper, and a limiter. Limiter is probably just going to clip it, but that's okay. And so yeah, for the bass, I think I have a chorus on here, or the multipass has a chorus. It's probably not as loud, but it'll definitely get a little bit louder as we drive the input. And then there's a filter. And I got a analog generator for the highs and a different sub-bass group for the lows. And let's see what we can get. Actually, I think I'm just going to grab a simple shape. Asymmetric sounds pretty cool, so let's try that. Let's try another shape. This one looks pretty interesting. Let's really just crush it. Alright, let's try a complex shape. Let's try the fried. That sounds interesting. Definitely a lot of grit. But yeah, that's a shaper on a bass. And of course, you can use the wave shaper to add harmonics or make your bass richer in sound. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Okay, for the next thing, some drums. So this is where things get exciting, because shaper can definitely crush your drums and get some really interesting tones. So yeah, let's experiment. Let's go ahead and first make I guess, a smooth shape here. And of course, I have the same setup, which is just a gain, Snapin, and a limiter. Go ahead and push it a little bit more. And as you can already hear, it just sounds so cool. I'm going to turn this down. If we want to really just crush it. And this is just with a smooth point, so imagine if it was just like a hard curve, it would sound even more crushed. Alright, let's add this kind of shape. Ooh, that is loud. So yeah, I really like the way that sounds. Very aggressive, hard-hitting drums. Without shaper. and then with shaper. So yeah, this is also going to be fun to work with some drums here and really just crush your sound. So yeah, the shaper can really bring out your drums and make them sound very aggressive or hard-hitting. Or if you just want to add a little bit of warmth to them, you can just increase the drive by a little bit. Okay, so we have shaper on a kick here as well, and I'm actually really excited to do some sound or some drum sound design with shaper because as you can kind of see, I was experimenting earlier with this, but I just got a normal kick here. Got the main bass sound, the transient, and then stereo here, and a frequency shifter to do like a master pitch on the main bass sound of the kick. But yeah, this is what the kick sounds like without the shaper. But I'm going to turn this down and then turn this on, and I really like the way it sounds, but this is the kick with shaper. Ooh. And I really like aggressive, hard-hitting kicks. So I like the way that sounds. And this is just the normal kick. And then with shaper, really crushes it. I'm going to go ahead and just turn this off. Just going to add another shaper. And let's go ahead and experiment. Ooh, nice. That sounds kind of funny. Let's do symmetry. Oh, whoa, all right. That is trashed. We bring it up all the way. That sounds sick. Personally, I just really like the way that sounds. And I could definitely like sample that and cut off the tail a little bit. That's just a square wave. But yeah, shaper is definitely going to come in handy when it comes to drum synthesis, so I'm really excited to just experiment with it. Okay, so the last thing here is the snare. So yeah, I have my setup that I got here is the transient, the body, the tail, and I got all the LFOs down here inside of some new groups. I put a frequency shifter on it to kind of pitch the whole snare, add some more punch to it, and as you can see, I was messing around with shaper earlier, but here I'll just show you what this sounds like really quickly. But first, actually, I should probably show you what it sounds like without the shaper. And then this is with shaper. I had to turn down the gain because it's pretty loud. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. I like the way that sounds. Ooh, it sounds like there's some bass frequencies going on, so I'm going to add a filter here and put it at like 150. Yeah, it's good. I'm going to go ahead and turn up the note here. Put it at F2. What about F0? Ooh, that sounds cool. Okay, what about C1? That sounds good. Alright, what about C2? That's the original pitch. And G1. But yeah, that's shaper on a snare, and this is also going to be fun to experiment with and get some interesting sounds. This is going to be on the website post, or the website blog, I should say. So you'll have the Ableton project file and the presets from the project file. Probably not these two, because there's nothing really too significant about, you know, this synth lead and this bass. It's not really too crazy. I am going to release the preset for the kick and the snare. So if you want to have that, you can. You can just download it for free on the blog post. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Adios.